we should continue this tier list before, the alphabet isn't a thing anymore or whatever.
Yep. That
But
is a real risk. In fact,
you
we
never
are here to talk about save the alphabet. You too can save the alphabet from.
listen, in a world in an ever-changing world of emojis and icons making their way closer to the way that we speak, we're sliding backwards into ancient Egypt. Hi, and welcome to Beer with Geeks, where two geeks geek out with beer. I'm Tim, and with me, as always, is my man who loves the middle of the alphabet. It's Frank. How are you today?
I am doing pretty good. I am doing incredible. Incredible. Starting with an I.
Is that actually where we're starting?
That's where
Who's
we're starting.
that? Is I don't know. Inconceivable there.
Mm.
Yes. Excellent. Frank, on Beer with Geeks, we drink beer and talk about geeky things. What are you drinking today?
I am drinking my first Switchback Ale of the year.
It's a good time. It's a
I
good
am.
time.
It is. It is. I have not had one yet, and I am excited to jump in. This has been one of my favorites for several years now, and
Switch back from a
good to be
can
back.
this time. Normally you get the
Yeah.
bottle.
Right. Yeah. I found it in cans and thought that was interesting. But yeah, it is a good old Vermont ale. Just a straightforward, nice ale that is unfiltered, undefinable, and unrivaled, as the can says. So,
I would agree with all those things. We love the switchback here. I am drinking a Leffe.
oh, love that.
It
Love
is
it.
obviously it's well known here. Belgian ale. It's an Abbey ale. Founded in 1240. I love the old beers. Have you noticed that? There's
I
like
love
I
them.
go for the beer that is hundreds of years old.
Yes.
It's
That's
just
kind of a theme with us in general.
being hundreds of years old.
Well, liking things that are old. Yeah.
Yes, that's also true. I do like things that are old. But it's a blonde. It's good. It's a little heavier than I think I was in the mood for right now.
Mm,
Mm. But it is quite
yeah.
tasty.
Those are quite a bit on the heavier side, but like so full of flavor, right?
Yeah, with
Like,
the vanilla. This is a good vanilla,
yeah,
kind of a clove in there. It's very good. The whole I mean, obviously I've had it before.
sure,
More
yeah.
times than I can think. And I'm a big fan of the Belgium. I love Belgium.
I love Belgium. I was in Belgium for about an hour.
Count it. Yep.
Yeah, I stopped and I had frites, so I count it.
Count it. See?
Yeah,
Yeah. Anywhere I stop, like
yeah. If you
unless
stop,
if I've stopped there, then it counts.
mm-hmm,
So that
mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't
Yep,
care if I didn't leave the Japanese airport. I was there.
sure, sure.
So I was in Japan.
You were
I
in
actually
Japan.
literally it's not international waters. Like while you're in the airport, you are in the country. So
Sure,
I didn't
sure.
see anything, but
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was on a bus from Germany to France, and we stopped in Belgium. I think we did like a bathroom break, and there was a frite stand. So
Bathrooms in Belgium, great memoir title.
yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
really good.
exactly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Bathrooms, Belgium, beers, and, blonde ales, and I was gonna say blondes, but then that just sounded wrong, so
It's like veering towards a James Bond title.
ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sort of. But like a very, uh, yeah, just like word association, James Bond title, you know?
Sometimes the James Bond titles are just plain word association.
Sure.
Like, they just,
No Time to Die.
that's the one that was in my head. That's just that's just a Mad Lib. Like,
Basically, yeah.
me
Quantum of Solace is also kind of approaching one, you know? Like, it means something, but, like, does it?
not well, in the context of the movie, no. In the short story, sure,
Okay,
probably.
fair. That I don't know about, so that's totally fair. Um, the short story has nothing to do with the plot of the movie, right? They
Not
just
a
took the
single
name
thing.
and
They just
yeah,
took the name and did a
thought so.
thing. That's
Yeah,
okay. What are you
yeah, you
gonna
know.
do? What are you gonna do? Frank, for several episodes, we've been tier listing was 250 DC comic characters,
252.
252. And as we veer closer to Superman the movie, I feel that we should continue this tier list before, the alphabet isn't a thing anymore or whatever.
Yep. That
Because
is a real risk. In fact,
you
we are
never
here to talk about save the alphabet. Um, you too can save the alphabet from.
Listen, in a world in an ever-changing world of emojis and icons making their way closer to, you know, the way that we speak, we're sliding backwards into ancient Egypt.
Hmm,
And
hmm.
okay, and then we'll pick up with words again, and we'll swing back. I'll be dead by then, but I think that's where we're going.
A,
Anyway,
a world with hieroglyphs wouldn't be so bad, you know. I mean, it's yeah. You're right. It is basically where we're headed. So, um, yeah. I don't know. You've given me much to think about. Um, but I think I would be better served doing this tier list with you if that's
that's fine. I don't need to
if
think about how we're losing the alphabet anymore. I'm
okay.
fine.
You're
Frank,
good with that?
yeah, I'm fine. What letter in person did we leave off on?
We left off on the letter I. If you have not been following along with these, or if you're listening on audio and you're not quite sure where we are so far in at this point, I can't just list them all off. I'm sorry. So I will put a picture in the show notes to show you where we're starting from and where we left, where we end, because it's getting hard. But if you're watching us on YouTube, no problem. So here we are with Imra from the Legion of Superheroes. Imra,
Saturn Girl.
Saturn Girl, yes. Um, Imra's,
Listen, in the scope of the Legion of Superheroes,
yeah,
she's one of the big 3.
she is. She is. Yes, she is one of the big three. I am. I have. I just don't love Legion of Superheroes in general. It just never really spoke to me. So I'm not the. I guess I'm probably letting that color my thinking a little bit, and I'm trying to step out of that. Really, she's probably a B
I'm
character.
I'm gonna put her at a B.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree.
The Legion is a major team. She is one of the three leads of it. I think that's yeah. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, no. B, and truthfully, B is definitely as close as I can get to that.
Yeah.
I can't conceivably give more.
Yeah, no, I couldn't do an A, but a B seems doable to me. All
What
right,
about Iris West?
Iris West. Oh, see, this is tough because I'm like, well, we put Eobard Thawne at an A.
Okay.
I could see putting Iris at an A, but I kind of want to go B. But then
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, but she goes above Grodd and Imra in my book, or Doomsday. But yeah,
I don't know if she goes above any of those for me, in truth.
really okay, okay, okay.
Yeah. Although no, I do really like Iris. Now, yeah. Ooh, this is tough, actually. This is way harder than I
Should we like meet in the middle on B?
Yeah, let's meet in the middle
Okay,
on B.
I can
Yeah.
do that. I
I
can do
just
that.
don't think I can't put Iris up there with, oh, I don't know. I don't know well, maybe I can. Like, can I put Iris next to Hal Jordan? No, I don't, or Barbara
No,
Gordon? No, I can't.
no,
No.
no.
Okay.
Agreed. I
No.
can't.
Yeah, no, she's a B. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, Iris. Jackson Hyde. I am not familiar with Jackson Hyde. I don't think.
Jackson Hyde is Aqualad.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
that is
Well,
start on Young Justice
yep.
transition into comic books. Brand New Day. No, that's Spider-Man. Um,
Right.
Brightest Day. That's what it is. Yeah, right after.
Oh, okay. That's a long time
Yeah.
ago. I
Yeah.
read it. I read it, but I don't
Yep. Started
remember
there.
so much.
I like Jackson on Young Justice quite a bit, but this is comics, not the
Hmm.
show. So I would put him at a I'd put him at a C. I would be comfortable with a B.
Let's go with C.
Okay.
I don't unless you feel strongly otherwise. I'm
No,
sort of like
No, I think he's kind of been floundering in
Mm,
comics, and so he had a much clearer directions on the show, so, um, that's nothing against the character, that's against the people who write him.
sure. Okay.
Okay, Jade Nguyen,
Jaden Wynn.
AKA Cheshire. I really like Cheshire. I wouldn't put her at the same level as, say, the Riddler or
Mm,
Zod, but I definitely would put her next to I would put her next to Grodd or Connor Hawk for sure.
okay. Okay. So you think you're saying B?
I'd say B.
Yeah. I would be comfortable with that.
Yeah.
That's another character that I don't know super well, but limited experience, but have enjoyed. Um, what about Jamie Reyes, Blue Beetle?
Jaime Reyes,
Yeah, it
I
says Jamie here. It doesn't say Jaime, but you're right.
yeah, it's supposed to yeah, it's supposed to be
It is.
Jaime. Um, all the Blue Beetles, I'm like, Whatever." I put I
Same.
I put him at a B, though. I think, like, I comfortably put him next to Bart Allen,
Okay. Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Like, I really wouldn't put him any less than that. I don't no, he's definitely not, uh
I mean, I could see putting him next to Adam Strange
yeah, but are you really gonna put him next
or like
to
Elastic
Hawk,
Man.
you know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he's I know. I think Jaime carries his own book
Okay. Yeah.
a lot of the time, like, it's Jaime doesn't have a great supporting like,
No.
constant, supporting cast. I think that's what does him in most of the time.
Mhm.
But I like Jaime enough to say B. B for Blue Beetle.
B for Blue Beetle and Blonde Ale and
Mm,
Belgium.
and Belgium. Uh,
Okay.
Jason Blood.
Today's Beer with Geeks is brought to you by the letter B.
To be or not a bee? That is
Mhm.
the question. Um, yeah, can we just, like, pipe in the Patrick Stewart Sesame Street bit? A
Yes.
bee or not a bee? Speaking of bees, Blood.
Yes. Blood.
Jason Blood is the other half of the demon Etrigan.
Mhm.
I really like Etrigan, and I would assume Jason Blood is part of that in here because we already went by the E's. I can't remember if we
Yeah, I don't remember. I'm looking to see if Etrigan's here. I don't.
hold on, I have it untapped.
Oh, yes.
List.
We gave Etrigan a C.
Yes, and I would put Jason Blood right next to him.
Okay.
Yep, that would be fine.
I am very okay with that. That feels very fitting to me. Yeah. Etrigan really is a C. Pretty that's a pretty down the middle C for me, actually.
Mhm. Just,
Um,
like, as clear cut as you could possibly.
yeah. Yeah. There's not really a lot of debate. I'm like, that's not a B and it's not a D. It's yeah, that fits just right. Jason Rush.
I dislike Firestorm so
Yeah.
much. It's so boring as a character to me.
That's the thing, and I feel bad feeling that way because Firestorm is a really cool character in theory.
In theory.
In
Yeah.
theory.
I've n anytime, any book, any show, anything, I'd be like, "I think this could" no, I just can't. I just can't bring myself to
Yeah.
like Firestorm. No matter who Firestorm is, because 'cause there's been multiple Firestorms, and I just
Mhm, mhm.
it's just very whatever to me. So, it's a D for me. It's not a straight F. I don't hate the character.
No.
It's not F for Firestorm, but it is definitely a D for me.
Yeah, that seems right. Yeah, Christopher Chance, that fits Damien Dark.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Okay. What about Jason Todd?
Jason Todd, very important
Very
to
important character.
the Batman mythos and all characters. I'd probably put Jason at an A.
A,
Yeah,
yeah.
Jason's a really
Yeah.
well-rounded character.
Jason is a yeah, that's a heavy hitter. That's a heavy hitter and lots of yeah, obviously a ton of significance
Mhm.
to the mythos, the Batman mythos. Um, Jay Garrick,
Original Flash,
original Flash,
I'm gonna say
Justice
also A.
Society.
Like,
A, yeah.
yeah, I don't we have Alan Scott as a B for some reason. I don't know why
Mhm.
we did that. I think I would reevaluate, put
I
Alan
feel
as
like
an A.
I may have argued for that one.
believe that is correct. Yep.
Um, but I also sort of feel like, yeah, maybe I was wrong about that. So I would be down to move Alan Scott to an A and bring Jay Garrick with him.
Mhm. All
Yeah.
right, very good.
All right. That sounds good. Jay is going up here, and Jefferson Pierce is next. Black Lightning.
Um, a B, right? I could
Yeah.
although you could make a strong if anybody wants to make an argument for an A, I'd be happy to listen, but I think consistent presence in books is part of being an A character or,
Yes.
like, having their own book or just, like, always being part of the family, like, never really disappearing into the background, and sometimes I feel like Jefferson really does disappear into the background, and so I'm gonna say B.
Yeah. That's where I'm at. Like I think um yeah, to be an A characters have to be like Amanda Waller is an A character because she doesn't have her own book, but she is such a significant presence in the DC universe, a pivotal
True, but
presence.
Suicide Squad has been a pretty
Mhm.
consistent book
Mhm.
for
That's right.
decades, and
That's right.
that's where you'd find her,
That's right.
so
Yeah.
yeah. Right, 'cause, like, what do you mean? Like, let's say we have, I don't know, Cassandra Cain as an A character,
Mhm.
but she doesn't necessarily always have a consistent book, but she's fairly consistently in a Batman title, if not in her own book or Birds
Yeah.
of Prey or something like that, so, but you don't see that with Jefferson, so I'm gonna say B,
Yeah. All right. That sounds good. That sounds good. All right. Next up is Jennifer Lynn Hayden.
AKA Jade, the daughter of Alan Scott.
Mhm.
Waxes and wanes in importance, and, like, she's in books right now, she's in the JSA book, um, um,
C.
I wanna say B, but she's probably a C character, truthfully, like, she's, like, trying to be a B
Mhm.
character, but I think she is more likely a
I
C.
think she's kind of an aspiring B.
Yeah. That's there's nothing wrong with being a C character, we have some excellent characters as C
Sure.
characters.
Yeah.
They're just, there.
Look,
Alright, yeah,
you got that not everything can be an A, like
that's right.
there are just tiers.
They're right. Some characters are just A's, and she's not one of them.
Yep.
That's the tier is for, baby.
Yep.
Um, I could make the same argument for Jennifer Pierce, the daughter of Black Lightning.
Mhm.
Um, that's a C.
Yeah. I think that's right. What about Jessica Cruz?
Um, definitely more present. She's, um, I'd say B. If Guy Gardner's a B, I would put
I
Jessica.
think she's on the level of Guy Gardner
Yeah,
personally.
yeah.
Um,
She's consistent since she's been out. She's been in an animated
mhm.
movie, so yeah,
I think
I'd say B.
I'd say B. I find her a lot less personally, I find her a lot less annoying than Guy Gardner. So,
Sure. Well, yeah, it's not
yeah.
Guy Gardner.
Yeah.
Um, um,
What about Jim Harper,
The
the
Guardian.
Guardian?
I have a soft spot for The Guardian because of Supergirl.
Sure.
Not Jim Harper, but a soft spot
But Jim
and Young
Olsen.
Justice and but I'm gonna say that's a C character, if not a
Yeah.
D, if not even a D
If
character.
I would go so far as to say D,
Yep. Okay.
at
I'm
least
comfortable with D.
sometimes, yeah. I think I think Guardian sometimes rises to a C,
Sure.
maybe even rises to a B in certain stories, but, um, on the whole, yeah,
Yeah, I'm fine
yeah,
with D.
right? Yeah.
D for Guardian.
Jim Gordon, however. Jim Gordon.
A big part of me wants to put Jim Gordon as an S tier character.
Dude, I could totally look, Alfred's an S tier, Dick is an A, I
Yeah,
could totally put Jim up there.
I think Jim Gordon's an S tier character.
Uh,
Like, you wanna talk full rounded good character arc and consistently in comics for over 70 years, like, this Jim Gordon.
when was Jim Gordon's first appearance?
At,
Was
Detective
it
1939.
It
Yeah,
was, okay. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Alright.
yeah, he was that's
So,
it. He's yeah,
coming up
that's
on 80.
Coming up on 80 years, right.
Yeah.
He has consistently been there.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. There you go. All right. Jimmy Olsen, aka Guardian.
Um, I would put
That's a little
Jimmy
joke for the Supergirl fans out there.
I would put Jimmy as an A character, not
Yes.
an S tier character.
No, not S tier.
No.
Not S tier, but definitely an
Yeah,
A. Yeah. I think Jimmy Olsen is just too big a honestly, like, even a cult because of his association with Superman is too big, like, a cultural,
sure.
reference to be
Mhm.
anything less. I think,
Yep,
like, if you're a supporting character, um, who admittedly can be sometimes dropped to a D, like we were saying about Guardian rising to a B, like, Jimmy can sometimes be D material, but I think his, like, legacy and his sort
yep,
of yeah, that overall puts him at an A.
yep, I completely agree.
John Constantine is a tough one.
I don't love Constantine. I don't really get excited when he shows up. I don't read his book. I know he's very important to
Mhm.
people, though. Um,
Beloved character, very important to a lot of people.
truth is,
Um,
if taking my bias out, I'd probably put him at an A. Like,
mm,
it's not my personal taste, but I do think, like, I don't think he's any less important to the DC universe than Hal Jordan or Cassandra Cain.
yeah.
Uh,
Well, less important than Hal Jordan, I would say,
yeah, maybe less important, but
but
personal
I get
uh,
your point.
I could I think I'd personally, I'd probably put him at a I think if it's just us, I put him at a B.
Mhm.
Yeah. I
Yeah, but yeah, I would agree. I put him at a B.
alright, well, do you wanna put him at a B then? And
Yeah, kinda think so. It's our
alright, let's
list.
put him at a B. It's
It's
our
our
list. Yeah,
list.
get out of here, people. It's our list.
beerwithgeeks@gmail.com.
Yeah, Frank will
Send
read
us
it probably.
Mhm,
Mhm.
mhm. Alright. John Henry Irons.
Love Steel.
I do love Steel.
That's B.
It's a B.
It's a B.
He's a B. He's, uh he is not consistently present enough to warrant the Jimmy Olsen treatment, I think.
Nope, I completely agree. Yeah, I'm with you. That's a B. That's a B, sir.
Um, there are some I mean, Death of Superman, his whole origin there is fantastic, and, um, way back when I first read Death of Superman, I read all the tie-ins, including all the Steel tie-ins, and then even some Steel stuff from years later from, like, the mid to late '90s that was written to take place during the Death of Superman timeline. And I read that stuff in sequence, like, as part of where it would have fit in all the World Without a Superman stuff. Um, and he is a really, really like, there are some really good Steel stories from the '90s.
Mm.
If Steel is a character that you care about even a little bit, just as a curiosity, seek out some Steel comics from the '90s. In particular, I wish I could remember the name of that arc, but I mean, Google it or you'll find it. But it's an arc from '96 ish probably, that takes place back during Death of Superman times, and it's some really great character building, world building stuff. If you like the character, so I would say check that out. I love John Stewart.
Yes, I also really like Jon Stewart.
I
It
want a John Stewart movie or John Stewart to be like, the canonical Green Lantern in some reality.
You mean the Lantern show that's coming out? That's
Oh,
starring
is he
Jon
gonna be
Stewart?
the okay, that's great.
Yeah.
I'm thrilled about that then. Like, yeah,
You're welcome.
that's
Yeah.
that's great.
I'm happy
That's
to
great.
deliver that news to you.
I think John Stewart is one of the most overlooked characters in the DC universe, like, really underserved and deserving of much more,
I
um,
think I
than he
think
often gets.
I think that the appreciation for Jon Stewart started with the Justice League TV show. Like,
Yes.
it really kicked off from there, and it's been slowly it's been slowly building. But I think he's been consistently,
Mhm.
like, in the books and Greenland and important and whatever for the past I'd say 10 to 15 years,
Mhm, mhm.
right?
I
So,
guess, yeah, I'm talking about
but I
other
know what you
media.
mean.
You're right,
It's
yeah.
that, like, I'm not quite Hal Jordan, I'm Jon
Right,
Stewart thing
right.
but I think he's an A character.
I think he's an A character, yeah. Okay, I'm glad you said that. Because I was like, I feel like we're gonna wanna say B, but I feel A, and I'm glad you agree.
Mhm.
I'm glad you agree. Yeah, I think he's a solid A, and yeah, one of my favorite characters, and I'm stoked to see him on TV as, like, the lead because, yeah, I just think since, you know, JLU days, I've been a big fan. So,
Mhm.
on the other hand, then there's Jonathan Crane,
The Scarecrow, I would
the
say a B
Scarecrow.
character.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think consistent
I
enough in the mythology enough.
Mhm.
Um, Super Friends, Batman Begins, like whatever. But I think a B character, not on the level of other Batman villains, but he's certainly on the level of Bane
Sure. Yep. That tracks.
or Clayface. Yeah.
Mhm,
Um,
mhm. Yeah, that
Jonathan
works.
Kent. Yeah.
John
Uh,
Kent
John
I
Kent, the son, not the dad. To
correct.
be
Yes.
fair,
Yes.
for people not looking at the picture.
Mhm.
I wanna say John is more of an A character, but I don't think he is. I think he's a B character. I think some people write him as an A character, and he's had his moments that way, but I don't think he's consistently A character.
Here's my thing. I think John is yes, I think John has been in a character for most of the last how when did he come back? 5 years, 10 years? 5 years.
5, not definitely not 10 years.
Rebirth, right? It was when they did Rebirth, so that's like 2016.
Oh gosh, that was that long ago?
I think so.
I'm
Or
gonna
was
look
it
that up. I'll
or
use
was
my
it
one look up
2018?
for that.
All right, yeah. Fact check me on that, but I believe he came back during when they did, the Lois and Clark mini
2016. Wow, good
2016,
for you. That was almost 10 years ago.
almost 10 years ago. So
Holy moly.
he's a fixture now, like he's been around. So on the one hand, I feel like, oh, he doesn't have enough of a like background or enough of a history to warrant like being an A.
Mhm.
But then again, it's been 9 years. So like that's a decent chunk of time. Um, that's there are characters who have been around for not much longer than that. Who I guess none that we've put in the A here, but um,
Oh, our A list is pretty
established characters.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I would put him at a B for all those reasons. I think he is a potential, strong a potential.
Yep.
Um, yeah,
Yeah, super strong A potential, but just not quite there.
not yet. He just has to wait to be king.
Mhm. Truthfully, I think when Superman was away and he was Superman,
Yeah, that was an
that
A time period. Yeah.
that was the A time period, but now he's floundering a little bit, and,
Mhm.
yep, no good.
So I think
Jean
on the whole, like, averages out to a B.
Yep,
Yeah.
I agree. Jean Jones, the Martian Manhunter,
Mhm. A
um,
or S is really what we're looking at, right?
I would say A. I don't think Jean is an S
Okay.
tier
Yeah.
character.
I think that's probably right. Um, I think he's I might put him, like, in my personal ranking, I might put him above some of these other
Like
A characters, but
Yep, me too. I agree,
but
but I don't think
yeah,
he's anything more than an A
you're right. He's
character.
not he's not at the level of Clark or Diana or
Mm,
any of them, but he's close. He's damn close.
so close.
He's damn
So
close.
close.
Yeah. Um, Joseph Wilson.
Slade Wilson's son,
Yeah.
that's a D. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a D character.
Don't do much for me.
Nope,
Doesn't
nope.
do much more than Slade does, honestly.
Ooh, really?
For
Oh,
me,
interesting.
meh. Yeah, that might
Um,
keep us here.
hmm,
Uh, J-
Julian Day, the calendar man, also a D character. Let's be
mm,
serious. The only time
mm,
that he's great is in Long Halloween.
right. And again, that's one of those things where it's like rises you
He
know,
rises to the
to a
occasion,
B and
but
then goes
but
back to his whole as a D.
yeah. Right.
Back to
Yeah.
his calendar cave or whatever.
Yeah. Um, June Moon, the Enchantress.
June Moon.
I'd also put at a D,
Yeah.
maybe a C if you twisted my arm.
Yeah, I won't. I won't
Okay,
twist
great.
your arm.
D. Good, yeah, D character.
I'm cool with D. Um, Kara/Kara Danvers.
I I'm gonna say A. I think over the last couple of years, maybe she's become an A, but I'd also understand completely if we put her at a B. But I think she's made her way into A territory.
I feel the same. I feel like she started at a B, not started as in 1959 or whatever, but for me, would have started at a B, several years ago and has risen to an A. I think not only from her show, but from various versions of her in the comics, right?
Yep. Mhm.
Um, I think she has been an A consistently enough that I think that's sort of my conception of the character is the A version of her.
She's
Yeah.
had a consistent personality for some time now, which
Right.
actually helps a great deal that
Mhm.
she hadn't for a long time,
Right.
and
Yeah,
so
Supergirl in general was floundering for a long time, for a
mhm,
long, long time. Um, yeah, I think I feel good about that. She's an A.
mhm,
She's an A.
um,
Karen Beecher.
Bumblebee,
Yeah.
Titan,
I don't have any history with the character, so I'm gonna recuse myself.
I'm gonna say she's a C.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna say she's a C character. She's neither here nor there. I think she needs more exposure to elevate herself up.
Mm, okay. What have you seen her in?
She was in Young Justice,
Okay.
and and in the Teen Titans book, but she doesn't she left a somewhat of an indelible impression, in Young Justice, but not enough to, I think, to elevate anything
Okay.
higher than that. Because this
Mm,
is again, like with Jackson Hyde,
mhm.
it's comics first, then
Sure.
everything else, or
Yep.
kinda everything encompassing. So, yep, Karen Starr, AKA Power
Power
Girl.
Girl.
Say she's a B character. I think she has
Yes.
never really she has sometimes risen to an A character depending on what she's doing, what team is writing her, along those lines, but most of the time, I think she's a B character.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, I think that feels right. Um, I feel like I have not read a Power Girl story in a while, and that's again, I've been dipping in and out, right? So
Right,
that's
yeah, no, she just had she's just finishing up an ongoing,
okay, nice.
and she had a couple of one shots and whatever, like, she's been consistently around actually for several years, but like, the direction that people take her in is, like, she has a name change, and then she has some power changes, and then a costume change, and then another costume change, and it's just, like, everyone's just trying to put a mark on her and figure out what to do with her, um, but I think, uh, the, uh, I don't think she's been consistently well written really since Amanda Connor. I think that was
Mm, that's the last time I read the character, I guess, yeah.
mhm.
Oh, man, Amanda Connor, so good. So good. Okay, let's keep this party going. Let's go on. If Power Girl's a B, what do we think about Kate Kane, Batwoman?
Um, Kate is also one of those characters where it depends on how she's written and how long she and where she is and how long she's been around. When she's in it, she's great, but then she dips out and you wonder what happened to her.
Mhm.
Um, I would put Kate at a B.
Another character that I agree I'd put at a B, but has A potential, like
Yes.
John Kent.
Mhm. Yep, A potential. I've seen it be a few times. Had her own show,
Mhm.
whatever, but I don't think yeah, I think she dips out too much.
It's a shame what
Um,
happened with that show.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. It was all over the place.
deserved better. Oh my goodness, we have quite a few Ks to go, and we're like we're 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 getting close to time here. Um, should we? Do you want to pause there, and we can pick up there next time, or you want to power through it and just finish the Ks?
Let's power through and finish the
All
case.
right,
I think we can do this pretty quick.
yeah, a couple of these
Lightning round. Here we go.
lightning round, sure.
K Chalice, Jane. I have IDK.
Yeah, same. Okay,
I have Kendra Saunders,
Hawkwoman,
Hawk B
Hawk
character.
Girl,
Yep.
B
B.
character. Yep.
Yep. A potential, mostly B. Kent Nelson, Doctor Fate.
Probably
I could make an
B.
argument for A. Original
Yeah,
founding member of the JSA.
yeah.
Yeah, but also I'm fine
Pierce
with B.
Brosnan.
Pierce Brosnan. Yeah, I'm fine with B as well.
Hmm.
So I'll let you call that one.
I feel like I was undervaluing the Justice Society before, so I'll go with A.
Yeah,
Yeah.
A for Doctor Fate.
All right.
Kevin
Kevin
Coe
Coe.
is oh my gosh, what's his name? Um,
I don't know.
oh, Dio Omac. Yes, I came to it on my own.
Oh,
Omac. Yeah, that's a
wow.
C. Maybe I'm gonna say a C.
Yeah. Yeah, wow, I haven't thought about that one in a long time either.
Omac.
The
Yeah,
OMAC
yeah. Maybe
project
even
and
D. You could make an argument for D for Omac for me,
you
but
could.
I'll be
I'll
generous.
I'll go with you on C, though.
Yeah. Um, Kilowog, this might be sacrilegious, but I'm gonna say Kilowog's a C.
No, I
Not because
agree.
he's not a good character,
I
I just don't think he's ever the main character.
I put him right with Aricia. Like, same level of Green Lantern to me. Maybe a step above, but, like, barely.
Yep. Mhm. Yep.
Um,
Alright, I'm right with you.
"Alright, Poozer."
Kimio Hoshi, Doctor Light, that's a C character. Uh, maybe B?
I wanna say B.
Alright, I'll go with the B.
Yeah,
I'll
I
go with the B.
I wanna say B. I think
She's cool when she shows up.
she's cool when she shows up, and she's important when she shows up.
That's you know what? Also true. I will give you that. Okay.
Like, she's usually meaningful to the story and not just a background character. Like, Kilowog is kind of a background character most of the time, you know what I mean?
Mhm. Yep. Yeah,
He
he's there
shows
a
up,
lot,
he says "Poozer," and then he
and he
goes
flies
away.
off, does his
Yeah,
thing. Yeah.
right. King
Uh,
Shark.
King Shark.
I still cannot believe they did King Shark on the Flash TV show.
Right. Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, that he looked good. I remember
He
us talking
did look
about that.
good. Armin VFX, good job.
Mhm. King Shark's really a D character. I couldn't make an argument for C, though. Maybe I actually feel better with the C exposure in other media. King
Yeah.
Shark was on Flash and in the Suicide Squad
See, but I
and
don't
in the
feel like he's a
video game,
Kilowog. I don't
and
feel like
but
he's a Kilowog. I feel like he's a Christopher Chance.
yeah, I agree. Alright, D character.
Yeah. Commander.
Commander, which is, Coriander's sister,
Mhm.
that's a D character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Coriander, who's up next.
Mm,
She's Starfire. I have really enjoyed her in some things. Um, Teen Titans back in the day.
she's a B character. I'm gonna say B. I'm gonna comfortably say B. I think
Probably
she's
fair.
at the level of Connor Kent.
Yeah, that's fair. I think
Yeah,
that's fair.
I don't think she's down with Boomerang. Sorry.
No, no,
Yeah,
I think Connor Kent is a good comparison. Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Um,
Okay, our last K is Kyle
Kyle,
Rayner.
like Kyle a lot. One of the best designed Green Lanterns. I like the mask. I
Yes.
like the chunky mask.
Yeah, it's a cool design.
Kyle's a Kyle's a B, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's right at
He's
the level of Connor Hawk.
he ain't John Stewart.
No, he's not.
He
No.
ain't John Stewart. I feel like a lot of people are I feel like we're gonna get, some disagreement with that.
No, people like Kyle a lot, and I mean, he
People
was
like
my
Kyle I think a lot of
favorite
people
for a
would
long
wanna bump him up
time.
to an A,
Yep,
but
I think he's a character that if he stuck around and if he was just the Green Lantern for a while, then he would be an A character, but he got knocked back down by Hal coming back.
Yeah. And I feel like that fits. Like he so far has not really been for me like the lead. You know, he hasn't had that going for him.
Mhm.
Potential. He's got potential. But yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna go with B on this one. We had a lot of B's this time.
Yep.
Um, aside from Belgium and beer and et cetera. Yeah. Yeah. Well, listen, this was good. I'm excited to get into the L's next time. We got some, some big DC characters. Start with L. Lex, Lois,
Lacon,
Larfleeze,
no,
Lobo,
Lucius.
Lucius. Yeah. So we got a lot to look forward to there. So tune in for our future installments of the DC tier list. This is I like that we're sticking to this and we keep coming back to it. Um, Gosh, I don't even know how many we have left here, but it's quite a few.
We
Looks like
probably
we're
have, let's see, we did one, how many rows did we do? We did 1, 2, we did almost 3 rows. So if that's, let's say that's the consistent, uh,
in a
we have
20
about
across.
we have about 3, we probably have about 3 episodes left.
Let's see. We did, yeah, yeah, probably two or three left. Yes, depending on how fast we go through some of these,
Mhm.
because some are pretty.
Some are
You know,
pretty obvious.
I don't have a lot to say about Talkie Tawny. Let me just put it that way. Um,
Mhm. Mhm.
yeah, I think I said 20 times. Five. Okay, yes, we got 100 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 113 left. So we're more than halfway to 252.
Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy.
Wild stuff. Well, hey, if you have thoughts, if you want to give us hate for putting Kyle Rayner at a B, you can email us at beerwithgeeks@gmail.com. If you want to give us praise for putting Jim Gordon at an A at an S, you can leave a review, rating a review wherever you get your podcasts. You can watch this on YouTube. Might find this particular format a little easier to follow in video format. And you can support the show at patreon.com/thoughtbubbleaudio to shower us with money for our great tier making talents.
Indeed. Frank, always a pleasure to talk to you. Until next time, cheers.
Cheers.